So welcome back to Project Reworked and my beloved Suzuki A100 Rebuild. This episode we're going to be working on trying to get the dent out of the fuel tank and tidying it up, so hopefully you enjoy the video. When I fitted the chain originally I didn't have the new, when I fitted the front sprocket I didn't have the new chain and rear sprocket, so they've come in now and I'm just going through and filling the rear sprocket. The rear sprocket didn't look too bad, but when I ran the old chain around the new front sprocket, it clearly wasn't. The chain had clearly stretched, and you should always change them together anyway. Got to bend these tabs over to stop them back there, the nuts backing off. So another refit of the rear wheel, this time obviously with the new chain and sprockets, but also tightening the adjustment on the rear brake. Thought I'd make a start on the tank, petcock coming off. There's quite a nasty dent on one side of the tank. Apart from that, it doesn't actually look too bad. There's the dent there on the right hand side, just behind the Suzuki emblem. Going to try and save the emblems and clean them up there. If you want to try and buy new old stock, they're quite expensive, and I'm not really sure whether they're original, so I'll do my best to clean those up and keep those. As you can see, tank's not too bad. It's mainly this dent here. I've got an eBay dent puller, and I was hoping that I could pull that out. So you effectively use hot glue gun glue to stick the pad onto the bodywork. And as you can see, that didn't work. They're leaving it a bit longer, making sure that it's cooled right off and completely set. And again, it pops right off. Oh. Ah. That ain't gonna work.
It won't stick on there.
No, but I've used it before.
I'm wondering whether it's because of the dent and that shape is not flat enough.
Yeah, well that's the smallest one I've got. So I think I resorted to using a bar at the end to try and pull this dent out with the hot glue gun pressed onto it, but still couldn't do it, still couldn't get it to come out. Partly I think that's because dent extended into the crease. Before I went any further with the fuel tank, I thought I'd make a pattern of the decals that go around the tank so that I can reproduce those at some point in the future. So I'm just going to trace them onto some plain paper, and then I'll put that away so I can work on the tank and remove the stickers and remove the paint, then probably have another go at that dent. Using chemical paint stripper again to take off all the paint off of the tank. It was amazingly effective with this particular paint, whatever was. I don't think the paint was original, but whatever paint was on there. So there probably wasn't a lot of clear coat over the base coat. So after stripping the paint off and cleaning it and washing it down and neutralising the chemical, I'd actually managed to make a hole in the tank trying to pull it out, which still failed. I'd actually given the tank a quick coat of undercoat just to stop it from flash rusting, and I was actually using some fuel-proof epoxy, two-part epoxy paste, because at this point I resorted to filling the dent in the tank rather than trying to remove it. There were some small imperfections around the tank, so mixed up some filler and just started to fair the imperfections. Jenny's far better at this sort of stuff than me. I don't have the patience for getting it smooth, so she took a turn. I tend to put so much filler on and then end up rubbing pretty much 98% of it off and not filling the holes or marks that I should be filling. So the fuel tank was pretty rusty inside, and so I'd had rinsed it out a couple of times, but I thought a colleague at work suggested electrolysis to see whether I can get some of the rust out. So I refitted the petcock and filled it with a saline solution, and I used a battery charger as a small charge to get the electrolysis going. I was quite surprised at how quickly and how aggressive the reaction was. As you can see from the video here, lots of brown, rusty, horrible caustic soda solution coming out the tank. So a good rinse with apple cider vinegar to try and kill the rust. bit more fairing on the tank, this time using a 1-part fairing compound just to fill all the little tiny scrapes from probably my overzealous rubbing down more than anything else. Another quick coat of spray filler or primer just to stop it from rusting. So we've come to mock up the bike. Engine's back in, wheels on. Haven't done the paint yet, but just wanted to mock it up and noticed that the tank, firstly, is too wide to fit over the rubber locators on the front of the bike. So it's a good 20mm too wide, and then if you come around the back here, you'll see that it won't push down. It's meant to be down here, located down here with some rubber grommets, and it won't push down to there. And when I turn the tank over and have a look, looks to me like at some point this has been pushed out from the inside. We think it might have been blown out from the inside because it's hitting here on the frame and doesn't allow the frame to pass through, doesn't hit the rest, so the tank won't sit down. And I think in doing that, it's actually spread this out. I think I'm going to try and push that back in. Don't know whether I can or not. I'd run the risk of, I guess, ruin. And when I look at it, this is all, I mean, you see that it's all out of shape here. I run the risk of destroying the tank, but I can't use it as it is. So yeah, so I'm going to try and push this back in. That's quite a crease there though. Maybe, I wonder whether I put some heat on it. I'm probably going to ruin the filler that I put on the inside of the dent on the side of the tank, which is now quite nice, but I can't, it won't fit like this, but I think I'm going to have to put some heat on these creases. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently thinking. From rusting, I did attempt to paint the tank myself. You'll see in this clip here the tank's red. It was horrific, didn't do a good job at all, so I got really frustrated with that. I did notice that the tank was pulled in at the back, and I don't know whether I did that when I was trying to pull the dent out or not. So what I'm doing here is just applying a bit of heat just to relax the steel a little bit and just trying to pop out and straight and pull the back of the tank out again. That worked quite well. Finally, I managed to get the tank back to the right dimensions so that it would fit nicely back on the frame. Thanks for watching. Next time I'm going to be starting the bike, so leave a comment and thumbs up if you've liked what you've seen.